From the Opupco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell. Time for our We Pick 'Em segment. We've got hoops, we've got football. Let's get right to it. Let's start with the college games on Saturday involving Oklahoma State and Oklahoma Bear. Let's start with OSU as their men are at home against Texas Tech. Who you got in this one?
Well, I got the Cowboys. I mean, the Texas Tech's down at the bottom of the Big 12. Better than TCU, but that's about it. This will be one of the easier games of the year for the Cowboys. OSU should roll. This Cowboy season will be written on the road. They got to learn to win it on the road. At home against the likes of Tech, no problem.
Yeah, they look like a completely different team on the road. I'm picking OSU at home in this one. Oklahoma's men blitzkrieged Texas Tech the other night at home in Norman, so I expect OSU to do the same thing. It's just remarkable how different a team they look. A week ago, we predicted the Bedlam game, and I really thought Oklahoma State would play well in Norman, and they didn't play good at all in that game. So to me, it's just it's almost shocking, Barry. You saw it in person. They look like a completely different squad on the road. I don't quite understand it, but they've got to get it fixed.
Yeah, they're stagnant offensively, not a lot of energy to start the game. They got to switch that.
Energy way low. Got to get that fixed on the road. All right, what about this one, Barry? Oklahoma, they go on the road to face Kansas State, Lon Kruger's old team. Who you got in this one?
Well, I'm taking Kansas State. Very good team. Sooners are a pleasant surprise. They're playing well, got a good rotation. Lon Kruger's done a phenomenal job. But Kansas State's a good team playing at Manhattan. Over the last 4, 5, 6 years, Bob Huggins and Frank Martin have restored the excitement at Bramlage Coliseum. K-State, one of the better teams in the Big 12. I think it'll be tough on the Sooners. I think they'll play tough, but I think K-State wins it.
Yeah, I do too. I think Kansas State wins this one. And not because there's any knock on Oklahoma. I just think K-State a better team. And at home, when this game is at Norman, maybe different. But yeah, Oklahoma's been impressive this year, folks. They're winning games they're supposed to win and being competitive in games that are maybe more toss-ups. So I think this is a great sign for Oklahoma. They're in fantastic shape when it comes to the NCAA tournament because they really have a volume of wins, and they're winning games they're supposed to win. I don't think this is one of those. If they score an upset, though, Barry, that NCAA stock really, really takes a big rise. All right, let's go to the NFL playoff games. We've got some championship games to determine who's going to the Super Bowl. It starts with San Francisco going to Atlanta. Who you got in this one, Barry?
Well, I got the 49ers, and it's not because of the national sensation, Colin Kaepernick. I think he's a wonderful prospect, but I think the Falcons actually have the quarterback edge here with Matt Ryan. He's solid, really got it done the other day in crunch time against Seattle, but that 49er defense is really good. I like the 49ers here. I think it'll be a great game. But I think San Francisco wins on the road.
Kaepernick, I'm going with the 49ers in this one. Have you been Kaepernicking at all, Barry?
I don't know what that means, but it sounds not like something I would not do.
If you do something great, you're supposed to flex and then kiss your bicep.
No, I've not done that. No.
Well,
no,
I'm gonna pick San Francisco, and because that's great, I'm gonna kiss my really weak bicep. But yeah, San Francisco wins this one. I had them going to the Super Bowl before the year. I think they're getting back there. Had a big disappointment at this stage in the playoffs a year ago. They rectify it. Atlanta narrowly gets that playoff monkey off their back a week ago. I just don't think they're as good as San Francisco in this game this weekend. And the nightcap, Barry, Baltimore goes to New England. Who you got in this one?
Well, I've got the Patriots because at the end of the day, the world is a cold, cruel place. That we should all know that by now. But
especially when the Patriots are in it and they're in the playoffs.
You got to hand it to the Ravens. This is a proud franchise. It's gone old. The old Warriors, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis. But I tell you, Baltimore comes to play in January. This is a team you're going to have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. They're going to go to the mat. Last year, the Ravens missed by a whisker, upsetting the Patriots in Foxborough. A drop touchdown in the last seconds, then a botched field goal, or it would have gone to overtime. I think the Ravens are going to play them really, really tough. But I think it's Ray Lewis's last game.
Yeah, I think New England wins this one too. Yeah, the evil empire strikes again. But that sets up a fantastic Super Bowl. I think San Francisco, New England would be an awesome Super Bowl. If Baltimore somehow scores the upset, it'd be a great storylines there too. But I just think New England's too good. We saw last week they had injuries at running back and still were able to produce. They've just got pieces that they can plug in and guys that can make plays. They're all over the field. They're just too much to handle. And I think while that Baltimore defense did not get tested deep a week ago, that's one thing that we saw. Peyton Manning not able to throw deep on them. That's not going to be a problem with Tom Brady and his Patriots. They're going to throw it. They're going to throw it short. They're going to throw it deep. I just don't think Baltimore's defense is going to be able to handle them. All right, lastly, Barry, let's go back to the hardwood and the Thunder. The Thunder heads to Denver on Sunday to play a game. Again, an opponent that they played midweek on Wednesday in Oklahoma City. Who you got in this one, though?
Well, going into Wednesday night, I thought maybe a split. Thunder wins in Oklahoma City, the Nuggets win in Denver. But after watching the teams, I think the Thunder is just a good matchup, is a bad matchup for Denver. I think the Thunder's going to win Sunday in Denver. I think the Nuggets have an interesting team. They got Andre Iguodala, who's an excellent wing defender. He can dog Kevin Durant. He can dog Russell Westbrook. But that leaves Gallinari and Ty Lawson also on the perimeter chasing people, and neither one's a good defender. I think it's a bad matchup for the Nuggets. I think the Thunder gets it done and beats Denver.
I think it's going to be closer in Denver, but I do think the Thunder wins this game. Nuggets were never in that game on Wednesday night. I really expected a down-to-the-wire, close call sort of victory for Oklahoma City in that game on Wednesday night, and it was not even close. The starters sat the whole fourth quarter. You got to see not only the second teamers, but really the third teamers play most of that game. So I don't think it's going to be a 20-point blowout in Denver, but I think it's going to be a really nice Thunder win to continue this roll. I think they win Friday night in Dallas, then they win Sunday, and then they head out west to play the Clippers early next week. That's going to be a fantastic game. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.